everybody that's turned up here today. I'd also like to say a particular thank you to the fans that greeted me at the airport about 5 a.m. The day before yesterday. It was something that I wasn't expecting, and I was actually early hour of the morning. So I'd like to thank those fans that turned up. I'd obviously like to thank the owners for giving me this opportunity to come to India. I really believe that the ISL is a league that is growing very, very quickly. And even as back in England, I've seen how it started from a very small acorn 3 years ago and has started to grow bigger and bigger. There is worldwide interest now in the league, and that can only be pleasing for everybody that's coming to India. I'm joining a football club, and I'm following in the footsteps of Marco Materazzi, who has done an amazing job here. He certainly has left a big pair of shoes to try and fill, but I hope that I can bring success back to the club over the forthcoming seasons. And I'd just like to thank you once again for a tremendous welcome that I've had to the club. I hope that I can give the club and yourselves an exciting season ahead. Thank you.
And Dave, just obviously a very important part of the process of building the team. You will be entering, Chennayin FC will be entering in round 4, so which is basically every team is coming before you. So do you view that as an advantage or a disadvantage, keeping in mind the players that you've retained now?
No, I consider that we have an advantage because we already have 4 players, which is actually 4 more than Delhi have got. So I consider it to be an advantage, even though we come in at round 4. So in many respects, we have an advantage over many of the other teams that are involved in the draft. You might also ask, what do I know about Indian players? I have alongside me Shabir, who's very knowledgeable of the boys that are likely to be in the draft. And I have to admit, I don't know that many of the Indian players, but I've sat with Shabir. We have a plan. We have certain targets that we're going to try and sign during the day of Sunday. And it's certainly going to be an unusual situation. I've never been involved in something like this before. It's going to be slightly awe-inspiring for myself, though, I think, because we'll certainly go into it full of expectations. I say we have certain targets that we're hoping to get on Sunday, and by Sunday night we'll know exactly what we have got.
Next question.
Anything now, but yeah, we do have targets, and we will be happy if we get 75% of them. We'll be delighted. But other than that, I'm not prepared to say anything else.
Next question.
Probably if I start with the negatives first, I think some of the Indian players that are playing in the ISL have probably been a little bit in awe of some of the foreign players that have come. I think possibly they've not really been given the opportunity to prove themselves. I think if it's a choice between a foreign player and a domestic player, the foreign players tended to be selected. And I think it's been a little bit daunting for some of the domestic players to try and prove themselves. But I'm impressed with the regulation that's changed this year, giving each club an extra domestic player. You must now play with 6 players, and you can only have 5 foreigners in the side. And I think that's a positive step by the authorities to make that kind of decision, because ultimately that will improve the national team, and we'll get better players. And obviously us coaches that are coming in, we obviously need to play more of the domestic players than we have done in the past. And I cannot believe that a member of my staff has left his telephone on. So that will be an immediate fine. Is that okay, Tom?
Yeah, Shilas?
Yeah, hi. This is a question for...
philosophy can cover a multitude of things. Really, I think one thing that stands out for me is if you wear the shirt, if you wear the Chennai shirt, you have to give everything you got. I'm very much a believer in players have to commit themselves totally to the club and to the team. I'm a big team player. Everything will involve the team. Everything we do it together. And that possibly more than anything. Anybody that gives 100% each and every game will get my support, and obviously the support from the owners and the fans. And I'm quite sure that I'm able to say that some of the best players that have played for our club over the last 3 seasons have been the ones that have been committed each and every game. And if they do that, they will always be respected by everybody within the football club. But I also expect discipline. I expect players to conduct themselves properly, to behave themselves on the pitch. Don't get involved with referees, don't get involved with the opposition. It's hard enough trying to win a football match when you've got 11 players. It's even harder trying to win a football match with 10 players on the pitch or 9 players. So that side of things has to be right. I just want everything done professionally. I'd like to think that the whole club, the mantra within the whole football club is that we respect the opportunity that we've got playing for a great club like ourselves, and everything has to be done professionally and to the best of our ability at all times. And if we get that, we'll win a lot of football matches.
Hi.
It wasn't stress related whatsoever. I had a problem with my aortic valve. It was leaking, unbeknown to me, and when we found out, obviously I knew I had to go in at some stage and have a open heart surgery. I knew it was coming, so I went and had it done. And I listened to Gerard Houllier many years ago when he was manager of Liverpool. He had a serious heart scare, and he obviously had the operation. And 6 months later, he was the manager of Aston Villa, and he says himself it was too quick. He went back to football far too quick, and he should have taken off a lot longer than what he did. So obviously when I had this operation just over 2 years ago, last January, I made sure that I took off plenty of time and recovered fully before I came back to work. But listen, my heart now, I basically have a new valve that was put in. My heart is probably 99% better than anyone else in this room at the moment, so I don't think it's a problem whatsoever.
Next question.
John really was a huge surprise to me, and I've seen obviously the attendances. You know, you're averaging up in the 20s, which many clubs in England would be ecstatic to have those kind of figures. So in that respect, I was gobsmacked by the support and the noise that they make. And I just think the way that the whole league is presented, I think the television company do a very good job actually, the way it's been presented on TV. So we get to follow it back home. Obviously it tends to be highlights of the games. You can normally find it on one of the, you can stream it on one of the stations as well back home. So I was absolutely amazed, as I said, by the fans. And also the quality of the football has been very good. It's been exceptionally exciting, as you well know. And to see what Chennayin have done in such a short space of time, I mean, to actually win the league was just unbelievable. And obviously I've been getting first-hand stories in the last couple of days from everybody associated with the club, just what that actually meant that year, with the problems that you had off the field as well. And you still ended up going to the final and winning the final. For the people of Chennai, it was just an amazing experience for everybody. So it's because it really does excite me. As I said earlier on in the conference, I feel that there's something beginning here. It's the beginning of something, and I really want to be part of it.
Paul, was back in '99 when Baichung Bhutia came for trials, if I'm not wrong. If you remember, Baichung Bhutia back in '99.
I don't think that that story is 100% correct.
Okay.
I think it was a media frenzy, made up some story, and I don't think it was correct. So I can dispel that rumor now, I think.